Hey, yeah. Whoa. Live!
Oh, wow. What happened there?
From a CEO calendar reminder that just says crush humanity.
Oh.
Is that like an all-day thing, or you think that's like like 8 o'clock, or how do you think that works?
Do you set the
Out of
notification?
office?
Like,
It's
remind me 15 minutes
terrific
before.
Tuesday edition of Business Pants, joined by analyst Matt Moscardi. Yeah, I just cut off Matt's joke. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It wasn't that funny.
On today's research-driven ESG roast called September 16th, 2025, The Bad Game. Yeah.
Oh, wah. Like we need to do a show where we celebrate bad headlines. Like it's hard to do that show anymore.
Do you want to know what The Bad Game is, or should I get to our sponsor?
Go to the sponsor. The sponsor's better than The Bad Game.
Our show today is being sponsored by FreeFloatAnalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power, connections, and performance for free. Why do we do it for free? What are we doing?
Should we not?
I don't know. Are we? I just think that we should be charging people like $10,000 just to breathe near us.
Oh, well, we currently have like 600. Well, Free Float Analytics currently has 600 users. And if we charge $10,000, we'd have 0 users, I think.
I just want everyone to know that we are like fiercely independent. We are fiercely authentic. We are fiercely married to our data, like which we painstakingly collect, and we are not. We don't come from we're not nepo babies that come from billionaire fortunes. Correct. We don't have like secret injections of wealth to put into this company.
We're fully bootstrapped. We're not even taking venture capital money.
So why don't you call us up and then Venmo us $4 million? So the Bad Game is just unfortunately, this seems like the worst week for the Bad Game because it's just been a kind of an awful week. This is the antidote to the good game because...
Antidote?
Yeah, because... Because I don't know why. Why did I create the Bad Game? It seems awful.
I think it was just easier.
This?
I think literally it was easier to do. Like,
easier for who?
Getting hard.
Yeah.
Look, it has been like 9 breathless months of news.
Actually, I've been feeling like up until this like horrible murder last week. And I say murder. It's America. There are probably hundreds of murders, but there is one that's been in the news. I haven't been feeling okay. Like the end of the summer wasn't horrible, but now I'm just full of anxiety all the time.
It's hard. It's a lot. But I think the Bad Game speaks for itself. You say headline, I rate it on how bad it is.
And I'm even doing something we don't normally do. I'm going to start with political. Let's get political.
Oh, no, I don't like this.
Yeah. Do we have music for the Bad Game? Oh, we do.
I got my
I love
game show intense music.
Let's start right at the top. Get it out of the way. Companies from Delta to Office Depot are disciplining and or firing employees for their public comments on Charlie Kirk's death.
Yeah, congratulations, companies and their CEOs for wading deep into. Weren't we?
So we're back. We're back on the culture wars, right?
We're back. We're just censoring the other side now. Before we were censoring like all the pronoun, like you used the wrong pronoun, we were going to yell at you. Now you can't say, like, conservatives were literally screaming about they didn't get equal representation. Well, first of all, there's not an equal number of people who are conservative and liberal in any one place. Second of all, the distinction between liberal and conservative is not a binary. Like there's lots in between.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to tell you, there's actually gender fluidity in your liberal versus conservative. Third of all of your screaming about your right to have your opinion has manifested as the other side that we don't like shouldn't have their opinion.
Yeah, I thought the whole
is that the whole fucking point?
Right, the woke war started because they were sick of they wanted to become free speech absolutists, and now we're here.
It's like, oops. By the way, no one is free speech absolutists. We're all full of shit. We just wanted our speech, not yours. That's all we're saying now.
I feel especially depressed for anyone who knows a woman or is a woman, a person of color, gay person, because it's like you can't even. you can't even like express your thoughts on any of this. You can't do anything. Right? I mean, what can you even do? But I'm not saying that anyone celebrates murder, but it's like you can't even have a thought. I mean,
I can say that assassinating Charlie Kirk is a heinous thing to do. Also, Charlie Kirk, fucking asshole. I can say those two things. They can live in the same world.
Yeah.
But apparently,
and you're not, by calling someone an asshole, you're not suggesting political violence ever.
No.
Never.
I'm an asshole. Great.
Right. Well,
lots of people are assholes.
I have suggested political violence against you, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, thank you, Delta, Office Depot, Microsoft, for stepping into the void and policing what we can say and expressing an opinion. Thanks, guys.
And again, I'm left with this: CEOs and boards. I don't really know what you believe. That's the thing. I don't know what you like. I don't know if you're just scared of the political winds, if you're scared of Trump, if you're scared of the anti-woke. But what do you really believe? Like what are you doing? Right?
What is anybody doing?
I don't know.
Look, people are
Come up with some
inherently
policies.
political.
Yeah.
People
my God, are you kidding me? Everything is political. Everything.
Everything.
Not just in America, by the way. This is not a uniquely American problem.
So stop pretending that when you go to work, it's apolitical. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you go to work, you're going to say, like, what'd you have for dinner last night? It ends up being, like, it's somehow political. Like, people make judgments. They have bias. You're trying to limit bias. You're not trying to police, like, thoughts. That's what we're doing.
How bad
is this is, like, a 100 out of 10.
Well,
because
I don't know if I can give it 100.
Like, where the hell are investors saying...
10. Your math skills are horrible.
Where the hell is an investor saying, like, is the job of your business to police the thoughts of your employees? Because that does not increase productivity. That does not increase shareholder returns. That on the opposite side, we didn't like it when you did it. We shouldn't like it when you're doing it here, period. Don't police their thoughts. Let them have their thoughts. They're not doing it in the office. If they're in the office saying, like, Charlie Kirk should be dead, then okay, say, like, you know what, keep that to yourself. Go to the bar with your friends afterwards and talk about that. But if you're not in the office, because we're hearing about people, like, reading their Blue Sky accounts and then censuring them for what they said on social media,
sure,
get the fuck over yourselves.
Well, there's some teachers I saw that posted something on Facebook, and isn't Zuck Mr. Free Speech, right? I mean,
no one is,
or
everyone's
Musk
a big fat
Twitter,
fucking liar.
X, whatever.
You're only a free speech absolutist when you're a victim.
Well, I don't.
And you think you're not making as much money as you could because of your victimhood.
I want to move on from this, and I didn't include this one because I didn't want to talk. I hate talking too much about Elon Musk, but at the same time, Elon Musk said. So there was a rally in the UK in London. I think 100,000 far right people showed up for a rally, and Musk had some words against immigrants, basically. But he said, whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. I mean, couldn't a board fire? If we're gonna fire dudes at Delta, like, you know what I'm trying to say? I know what I'm trying to say. I'm just not eloquently saying.
We're policing it one direction.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you're a tech bro and you're rich enough, there isn't police for your thoughts. You can go on the social media company you bought and say whatever the fuck you want. But, like John in the mailroom says, hey, man, I really didn't like that. I really don't like that. I'm not a conservative. Then we're firing it. You're gone. Sorry.
But I guess, again,
you're expressing your opinion.
I get the little brands. Like, if you're a company that, like, sells coffee to people in conservative Montana, maybe you'd be afraid to be on the wrong side of the anti-woke. But Delta, like, does Delta think that all MAGA fans are going to stop flying Delta because you don't give in to the mob?
I mean, the companies that are mentioned here, Delta.
Well, that's just two of the companies. There are more. That's not.
But I mean, like, I bet you if we did
Microsoft,
like, due diligence,
Delta, Office Depot, NASDAQ.
If we did due diligence
MSNBC,
on these companies, right?
Perkins,
okay, so
Perkins Coy. Yeah, go ahead.
Delta,
Washington Post.
owned by Jeff Bezos.
Right.
Delta was sued for its, using ESG data in a 401k plan as an option for employees. Somebody sued them because they didn't like having the option that they could not take, but they didn't like even having the option there. Office Depot is a huge donor to Trump. Microsoft Satya Nadella was at the tech dinner, right, with Trump, and fired a huge percentage of his employees, calling it the enigma of success, right? These are people who have a vested interest in looking a certain way more than they have a vested interest in being a certain way. You watch, if the political winds were to shift, if everything starts reversing, all of them will be like, hey, man, yeah, the opposite is true. Now you can talk about your liberal values, or now we're gonna show up to a dinner and we're gonna talk about how we love renewable energy or whatever. They're all full of shit. I hate everything. Can we just say everything in this political section is a 10 and I hate it?
Okay, let's get a little bit more nerdy, thankfully that's the last thing we're going to talk about that topic. But the 3 next ones are about Trump, but we're getting a lot nerdier now. A lot nerdier. Trump, and these might not all be super bad. Who knows? Like, how about this one? Trump wants to end a half-century-old mandate on how companies report earnings. So he wants to do away with quarterly earnings and move to post earnings every 6 months. Now, you can take that at face value, or I could ask you, is it bad that the reason why he wants to do this is it will save companies money, allowing managers to focus on properly running their companies? Now, notice that he didn't talk about focusing on long term, but because I agree with Trump in the sense, I've always thought quarterly earnings are kind of absurd. Like, we shouldn't focus too much on the short term, and we certainly shouldn't give executives bonuses based on quarterly results, because it's easy to game quarter results. But to save them money, why is it always, is it the same rationale against shareholder proposals? Like, it costs too much money for the corporations.
It should cost fucking nothing.
But that's not really what Trump, is this really what Trump means here? I don't know.
No, see, the problem that all of these headlines is the motivation. Like, simultaneously, we have the SEC rolling back shareholder proposals. We have efforts to basically curb voting of all kinds. Like, we just covered last week, Vanguard is offering voter choice to every retail investor. Not many people have taken them up on it yet, but the ones that have are just going to say vote with management because it's too difficult to think, right? We have the most uninformed electorate is in the shareholder democracy at this point. We have more information on the federal democracy, where there's very little information that's real, that we have even less in the shareholder democracy.
Other than our show, basically.
So, I totally agree.
Yeah. Focus on just this, because I'm going to get to what you're talking about in the next headline. Focus on just this.
Longer term reporting.
So not so bad.
However, I'm totally terrified of the goal here is no reporting. The goal here is basically no voting that matters.
Something akin to China, right? Maybe?
I mean,
where it's really difficult to I remember working at MSCI as an analyst. It was really difficult to analyze Chinese companies.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Where's the Jamie Dimon says about this?
Ooh.
Like isn't that...
All right, let's get to that. Give me a score on that and let me move on. Give me a score.
All right, I'm going to give this a 6 because I feel like it's going to be more bad than good. So then let's
get to your point then, the next headline. Donald Trump tilts balance of power from investors to CEOs. Because that's really what that you're worried about, right? Is that we're tilting all the power at corporations to management, essentially.
I mean, as if it wasn't already fully tilted. Come on.
Agreed, but there are mechanisms in place to try to prevent that, but they're quickly getting decimated.
26% of companies in the free flow analytics database are totalitarian, meaning the CEO or a founder or a couple of founders already have all the power. right? So that's 1 in 4, just in case you were doing math here. So there's already a fake democracy. That doesn't include the Jamie Dimons of the world who have effective control. Like when we put in monarchies, about half of U.S. companies are either a monarchy with a little royal king at the top of the company or a totalitarian company where the founder has actual control in some way, some sort of mechanism of control. Like, what are we really talking about here? Like this country loves like monarchies. I don't think there's any tilt. I mean, this isn't good or bad. This is the same. I don't know. This is a 5. It's the same. It's samey.
One more for Trump. Appeals court allows Trump administration to end the climate bank where $20 billion was set aside to fund climate change projects.
Oh, I mean, like, what am I rating here? Like, this is...
Well, is that bad? How bad is that bad? How are you telling me?
I mean, they've already killed the industry. They've already, like, the EPA just said climate change isn't real. The Environmental Protection Agency said pollution and climate change don't have an effect on the environment. So what are we doing here? So I don't know, 5. I don't know how.
All right, let's go to the next category. A bunch of ESG crap is what it's called.
Oh, now I'm looking forward to that. This is the most depressing start of a show that we've ever had.
Well, it's the bad game.
Yeah, I know.
But people need to know what's going on in the world. Exxon, you can't just watch Netflix your whole life. Once in a while, you have to wade into the issues.
Ugh.
Exxon, this is a good one. This came out yesterday. Exxon's always up to something horrible. Exxon reportedly rolls out auto voting system to boost retail investor participation and curb activist influence. It's a opt-in proxy system would automate retail investor votes to support board positions. So essentially saying that if they don't vote, it automatically goes to management, right? To the board. That's what they're doing at Exxon.
What are we doing?
Fighting a boogeyman that doesn't exist. I mean, because we've been analyzing Exxon votes forever.
So I don't know if you read The Activist Investor, the Substack by Mike Levin, who's also...
I think the whole world reads
the Shareholder Primacy podcast. Yeah. But he wrote about this morning and pointed out the fact that, look, Exxon, like 40% of their stockholders are retail, and of them, about a quarter actually vote, which is actually really high participation for a company. And that quarter doesn't vote against management. Right. So what are we accomplishing?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if
isn't this just like a classified board? Isn't that kind of what this is? It's like another thing.
It infamously sued its shareholders last year, and now this year it's doing this. Is Exxon like the canary in the coal mine of trying to erode investor influence at U.S. corporations? Have they been tasked with doing all the horrible things first?
What investor influence are we really talking about?
Well, no, I'm thinking about laying the groundwork for a world where there's investors are completely silent, basically, unless Exxon calls them and asks for their opinion.
They already are completely.
No, I know. You're saying effectively they're silent now, which I agree, but maybe to be codified out of existence, right? Like,
I mean, look, if you're an institutional asset manager, what you should be doing is saying Exxon is effectively trying to dilute my ability to vote out a director by passing through directly to retail the immediate option to just side with management. So the trade here is what Exxon is saying is we are going to buy for free. Like, we're going to try to buy 40% of our vote. If they were to accomplish that, that would mean every institutional asset manager would have to vote against Exxon in order to make any change to their asset that they own.
Right. Give me a score on this one.
So, like, I'm wake up, everyone. This is the end of your democracy. Just buy private companies. There's no point in them being public. They're just taking your money. Yeah. You're just handing someone some money. I hate this. I think this is horrible. I think it's a 10.
And of course, Trump's SEC has already approved
They didn't even read the proposal. Yeah. They just no actioned it. They said, go for it.
I will say this, though. Good for Exxon for just being routinely hated for decades. Like, they're the great villain, right? They
still have never been voted out.
They're good at being villainous.
like no directors ever get voted out at Exxon. Like it just doesn't happen.
We can go kind of quickly on some of these next ones if you want to take a break. Let's finally weigh in. Let's get a score from Matt Moscardi, our chief pundit, about Elon Musk's $1 trillion pay proposal.
All right. It's a 10. First of all,
but what about capitalism?
But it's not, they're not paying him. They're paying him. What they don't put in the headlines for this pay proposal for Elon Musk is the word extra. If Elon Musk hits every tranche of performance that they've laid out in this plan, he will be a 1.7 trillionaire. Like he will have.
By performance, you mean just hitting stock prices, or there are actually ties to like things like
there are ties to operational
performance
revenue, in there, but like the operational performance is apparently he meets them at board discretion. Right, like there's board discretion. They can declare there's an extenuating circumstance.
And this is the company. This is the company that was so desperate to find independent directors to form something called a special committee that they scraped together like two kind of.
It's a 2-person special committee, one of whom has been made almost a billionaire by Elon
including
Musk,
the chair, Robin Denholm, who's
every chair, the chair of every committee.
Who said yesterday now that she actually thinks that Elon Musk being distracted and doing other things is good for Tesla. This is how much she just twists in the wind. So that's a 10. Right?
So this pay package, the headline, Elon Musk's $1 trillion pay proposal, redefining CEO compensation in the 21st century. It should say Elon Musk's extra 1 trillion pay proposal, because he's not proposing to be a trillionaire. He's proposing to be a multi-trillionaire. He wants an extra trillion to do his fucking job when he already owns 15% of the company. Like, if it makes no sense to me. So it's a 10. It's the worst.
Here's the headline, the bad game. First, Elon Musk, now Larry Ellison. The world's richest men are buying huge media companies because they can. And you can add a bunch of other people to that, including, you mentioned Jeff Bezos. Let's not forget that Jeff Bezos doesn't just send you horrible junk that no one needs across the country. He also owns a pretty considerable media company, Amazon Prime, Washington Post, right? I mean, he's a pretty big player in the streaming wars. But what do you think about this headline?
Well, people would argue that he no longer is the CEO of Amazon.
Oh, right? Of course. Well, according to the data at freeflowanalytics.com, he still controls a majority of the board influence, because let's not forget, he is still the chair of that board. He still runs the agenda of that board. Yeah.
I don't actually think this is different from the way it's always been. I think we're regressing to a place. Have you ever seen Newsies, like the
Newsies,
the Disney movie from Do
I look like I watch Disney movies?
I mean, it's like not a cartoon. It's basically like newspaper kids in the 20s who are like out selling papers who unionized, right? I think we're regressing to a place where we have like children, out selling media, and they have to unionize in order to make any change because 7 dudes own everything. I think this is 6 because I think it's basically the same as it ever was.
And what the headline is referring to there is Larry Ellison's son is now, who now controls Paramount, is now trying to buy Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah, at least they're honest and just saying it's Larry. Yeah, they're just saying Larry.
Speaking of which, Lachlan Murdoch secures control of Fox and News Corp, ending succession fight. So another nepo baby controlling media.
This was inevitable. This is a 5.
Okay. Okay. I like when something is like it's just it's bad. You just give it a slap of 5 on it.
I mean, at this point, that's one of the least bad of the other stories.
Speaking of control, Google tops $3 trillion in market cap for the first time, joining a select club with only 3 other members. That's Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. And I didn't realize this, but only 7 countries on the globe have GDPs greater than $3 trillion. I didn't realize that.
Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia. So so it's all big tech bro companies.
Yeah, and Apple and Microsoft, and Google really are part of that sort of media. People kind of forget them as media, but YouTube, Apple,
I guess I don't really care about this. This one's
you don't care about this.
I don't really. I mean, like $1 trillion market caps are sort of inevitable. It's all make believe. It's all fiction anyway, right? Like they're not actually. It's not real. It's fake. It's pretend.
How about this one from the Wall Street Journal? And I always love when something out of the Wall Street Journal, which is owned by Lachlan Murdoch, right? The Murdoch family.
Yeah, now, yeah.
So whenever a story like this comes out, I was like, wow. I mean, it must be even worse than they're reporting. Toxic fumes. They actually did an investigation. It's like I'm impressed. They still have teams of reporters who are allowed to investigate U.S. corporations.
I thought they fired them.
Toxic fumes are leaking into airplanes, sickening crews and passengers. Doctors compared the brain effects to concussions in NFL players.
Well, what are these toxic fumes?
And to make matters worse, because we've been talking about for years, be careful flying a Boeing jet. These are known to occur on the Airbus A320s. So the Wall Street Journal investigation found that there are toxic fumes leaking from the engines basically into the cabin, and that the airlines have been downplaying the health risks, and they've been successfully lobbying against safety measures that could be enacted to reverse this. But the incidents have been increasing, and we know how bad the effect of concussions are on NFL players, so this doesn't seem like a wonderful development.
At what point are we back to covered wagons? Are we it's just everything's so at some point you just want a homestead, and if you go anywhere you take a covered wagon.
Let's be honest. Last time I flew, I got COVID, so there you go. But you do have to ask yourself. 95% of the flights people are taking, you don't need to be going where you're going.
The Trump administration just rolled back your ability to get money back if they just are delayed for mechanical reasons or canceled.
They're rolling back the Biden rule.
Rolling back the Biden rule that
make
said
CEOs great again.
If a plane has a mechanical issue, if it's the airline's fault, they don't have to pay you back.
Why? No. This is our populist president. This is the guy that millions of Americans love. This is our populist.
They're rolling back the regulations on the airlines themselves.
I don't understand people fall for this.
Toxic fumes leaking into airplanes. That's the least of the problems, right? You can't even. I don't understand who wants to fly anymore. The flights are so expensive. Everything's always delayed. The air traffic control doesn't have anybody sitting in towers anymore. Not in this country.
True, yeah.
Why we go? Don't go anywhere. I mean, just stay home. Yeah. Have a coffee.
That's what Canadians are doing now. They're not visiting the U.S. anymore.
I know, it's fabulous. I think this is a little bit funny and also bad, but I don't know how to rate it.
A little bit funny.
A little bit funny because it's of course.
Jeez, you're jaded.
You can't fly an Airbus because you're going to get basically concussion-like symptoms from toxic fumes. You can't fly a Boeing because the parts fall off of it.
Let's not forget that if you're a U.S. flight attendant, you're not even. If you're a U.S. flight attendant, you're not even getting paid for your time before the flight takes off. So you don't get paid, and then you shut the doors and take off, and then you're getting toxic fumes.
It seems like a win everywhere. Yeah.
What's the number on this one?
I'm going to give it a 7.
Let's stay in the ESG, a bunch of ESG crap category before we end with our huge speed round. We have a huge speed round coming up, which I'm sure everyone's very excited for. Our speed round this week, it covers the climate change and AI. So that's going to be fun. Next headline: the gender gap is getting wider. Reversing progress. That doesn't feel shocking, but
if you get our zine, we covered this in the zine, and we also talked about it a little bit on a show.
Now, why wouldn't you get our zine?
You have to sign up at freeflowanalytics.com.
But why would you unsubscribe? Anyone who unsubscribed to our zine, what is your problem?
Yeah, we'd love feedback.
I would really love to know what your problem is.
It's just an email.
Print it out and share it with your children.
We're trying to do the social part of social media so that we don't have to rely on some algorithms to get seen, because the algorithms decide that what you should know and you shouldn't know, and we feel like you should decide what you should know and shouldn't know, so we're trying to do something different. So tell us if it's working or not. But that notwithstanding, the gender pay gap getting wider, This was the intended consequence of reversing DEI. That's it.
Absolutely.
There's not another agenda.
No.
The goal here is
strengthen
black
the
people, people of color, women. You make less money. You shut your mouths. You go to work the way we say you go to work. You do not challenge the establishment.
And we distract you with a culture war.
Do you know that I just saw a stat that 3% of the U.S. population is 6'2" or taller, but 39% of Fortune 500 CEOs are 6'2" or taller.
Wait, what percentage of CEOs? What percent of CEOs?
39%.
Okay.
Did you like? And this is a cohort that is almost exclusively male and almost exclusively white. So what we have done is like Cro-Magnon, like Neanderthals. We have said the tall white ones shall lead us. That is what we're doing. And this is just another example of it. The gender pay gap is widening again. In fact, what the number it's at right now is the same number it was at in 2017. Rolling back not just to the Me Too movement start, but before that. We are now pre-Me Too movement in
Think about what I'm about to say, which no one's really like allowed to say anymore. I mean, you don't. I guess it's too what? Woke or antiquated or folksy, but it's 2025. We still haven't had a president who's a woman in our country. Still.
Yeah, of course not.
Where's the outrage about that? Since when did Washington take over? 1781? We still haven't had a woman elected as a president. I think how crazy that is. Despite the fact that the electorate is 50% female. I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
I mean,
what's your number on this one?
This one's a 10. I hate it.
All right.
I hate it because it's solvable.
Here's another nerdy one from Matt Moscardi. U.S. shareholders fail to pass any green proposals for the first time in 6 years.
That was never gonna. They didn't really pass anything. Everything's non-binding anyway.
You don't like that
5. I don't know, whatever.
Okay, let's get to our speed round. Let's get the hell out of here. We got a lot in our speed round. Now these are
I'm
all.
gonna give some speed round music. You ready for some?
These are all climate
music?
Change or AI. Oh, nice. Okay. That does not feel appropriate for the bad game.
That's why I'm playing it.
Carbon emissions from oil giants directly linked to dozens of deadly heat waves for first time.
Yeah, 6.
Looking at you, Exxon. Looking at you, Darren Woods. Brace for impact. Climate change is set to intensify flight turbulence, warn scientists.
Another reason not to fly ever anywhere. Parts fall off, toxic fumes, delays, no money back. And now, when you're in the air, you'll shake a lot. It's a 9.
Yeah, I don't want to shake a lot because the shaking makes me feel like I'm going to be dying soon. Why climate change is making dengue fever a global threat.
So they said this, I think, in an IPCC report from like 1994, that climate change inevitably is going to increase infectious disease. Oh, here it is. It's here now. We made it. I'm going to give this a 6.
Yeah, this one makes the most sense that if it gets a lot warmer, there's going to be a lot more mosquitoes.
Yeah.
That just makes sense, right?
It's sort of 1-to-1.
Yeah. We're in the speed round, the bad game for September 16, 2025. Climate change will make 1 in 100-year crop failures more common. How about that?
I think we stopped calling them 1 in 100 years.
Yeah, right?
Can we call them like 1 in 5?
Yeah. How about that one?
1 in 2?
Crop failure. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm growing hydroponic tomatoes in my house now because of crop failure. I'm going to go with 5. We knew this was coming.
Climate change drives surge in deadly supercell storms across Europe.
That is the definition of what climate change does. That's the definition.
Absolutely. You heat up the atmosphere in wild and uncontrollable ways. And storms they love that shit. Storms love atmospheric
eat that
heat.
Shit up.
Yeah, they love that.
Delicious. I mean, we knew this. I'm going to give this literally a 0.
Oh.
Because we knew that was the only thing we predicted.
Your scoring is bizarre.
Should it be bad because we knew it was coming? Like, is it?
How about this one, especially for those who live in New England who've been promised something different? Climate change is pushing venomous snakes into new regions.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna give that a 0. That's
Wait,
like, fun.
That's not bad?
No, it's kind of fun. Like, just
I don't
stay away
understand
from them
you.
and watch
I don't understand
them.
you. How about this
cool.
one? Climate change drives surge in deadly flesh-eating bacteria on
That's
U.S.
a
coasts.
10. No, nothing's eating my flesh. 10.
All right, 10.
Get out.
Let's move over to AI. OpenAI foresees millions of AI agents somewhere in the cloud in just a few years with human supervision. That sounds like a Star Wars movie, right? With the stormtroopers.
They add that the thing is like there's like a dash and then it says with human supervision. Does
that make
the
it
part
better
they
or
delete
worse?
Next year, they're deleting that part next year with no supervision. That's a 10. I don't.
That sounds frightening to me.
I will take crop failure over AI agents.
I mean, when you think that most of our wars now are fought with like drones that nobody sees, do we really want like millions of AI agents? Like, what is that?
I want none AI agents.
One out of every 4 homes is at severe or extreme climate risk, study says.
That's known, but I'll say 5 because I'll say 7.5 because that's, the opposite of the 25%. It's really bad for 1 out of 4.
Experts concerned AI is going to start a nuclear war.
Yeah, experts, that's all we talk about. That's the plot of Terminator. That's the actual plot, isn't it?
Yeah, that was from 1984, by the way, that movie.
And The Matrix. It's the plot of those movies. So 5. Like, we know that's coming. We knew supercells were going to get deadly. This is coming.
I remind the listening audience, these are all headlines since September 1st. This show is never out of date. Psychologist says AI is causing never-before-seen types of mental disorder.
That's just fun to me. 4.
Okay. Sam Altman says, I love these. Sam Altman says, people are starting to talk like AI, making some human interactions feel very fake. He's saying it. Sam Altman's saying it.
Does Sam Altman talk to other humans? Does he know what it's like to talk to humans?
I mean, when Sam Altman warns you about AI shit, that's pretty fun, right? I mean, that's great stuff.
I mean, like, Sam, you have the power to stop it.
Yeah, turn it off, Sam.
I'm going to give it a 3.
Oh. And finally, let's end on this. For the bad game, September 16th, 2025, Senator Cruz, you could already give it a 10 right there, I guess. Senator Cruz introduces bill to reduce regulatory burden facing AI companies. How about that one? There you go.
Finally,
right?
someone's freeing the AI companies.
Do they have any? Did they have any as before? What were they?
Which are the regulations that he's reducing?
Well, yeah, I'm curious about that one.
That one's actually interesting because I want to read that bill just to figure out
what's
they getting rid of? Away because I didn't know there were some. Like,
give me a score.
That's a 10. That's a 10. This is all horrible. I hate everything. What did I end up at? A 6.5.
I'm getting there. 6.6.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. I did it.
You guessed it too. That's basically a 666. That's great. It's satanic. The very satanic Matt Moscardi. I love it.
That's Hazelnut Rawless. I'm your analyst, Matt Moscardi. We are Free Float. That was a exhausting, horrible game.
Hey, that's the world. That's the news. That's the ESG headlines.
I'm so excited to put this out into the world and just make you feel my jaded exhaustedness. That's it. Come back where we're going to do a proxy season preview for the U.S. proxy season coming up on Thursday.
Wait, we are?
Proxy
That's
Countdown.
true?
Yeah, that's true. That's what I heard. We're doing on Friday a wrap of the week. We've got the Shareholder Primacy Podcast
so much
coming.
Going on.
There's so much happening. If you want the zine, go to freefloatanalytics.com, our sponsor. Sign up free with an email. You just need an email account. That's all. They need one email address. They don't ask you for money. They don't ask you for anything else. The only thing that they will send you in the mail, it will come from my email address, will be a zine that you can read. It's got all the information in the week. It's got some analysis in it. And increasingly, it's going to have a lot of proxy results and stuff like that in a way that actually, my daughter, my 14-year-old, she likes reading it. So it's got to be good. That's all we got. Till later. Good.